covering the second week in July. There's really two themes here. The first is Jupiter is stationing and stopping. Ho, 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 optimism. Yeah, optimism in our world today, amazing. But it seems like, well, it trines Neptune. The artistic religious folks are going to be very optimistic, and the oil companies and the pharmaceuticals, and you might learn some truth about some of this stuff too. Jupiter's in Scorpio, you know, the sign of the detective. So that's the way it looks. If you know, you can do astrology just with a $20 book. The ephemeris, here's the way it looks in the ephemeris. Your little D there means it's slowing down, stopping, and going direct, going forward. And so this will be the peak of optimism. Right in here, it's on the 10th, 11th. The moon will set it off a little bit, and you know, once every 6 hours or so, you'll get a hit of laughter and joy, I hope. So you'll feel that Jupiter station, guaranteed. Can't miss it, at least until you get to this next change point in your week, which has to do with an eclipse at 20 degrees of Cancer. Happens on the 13th. Now 20 degrees of Cancer, an eclipse opposes the planet Pluto, and that's a very dramatic thing. That's, you know, eek, a shark, eek, a nuke. Stuff like that's going to come up on or about and after that eclipse. Now the sun here is going between 14 and 24 Cancer. It's kind of like a little trigger. And I've marked out the players on the stage for you. Here's Jupiter, see? He's first on the list. Jupiter comes in just about the time you're seeing this. If you're on a Thursday night show, sun's trining Jupiter. Ha ha ha, hooray, hooray. Lawyers and professors and lightning bolts of truth. Try to look on the bright side of things. Neptune comes in a little bit later. That'll be 3 days from where you're at right now. The sun will trine Neptune, and there'll be religious inspiration. Could be really nice. And then finally the sun's going to hit that opposition to Pluto right here at 20. That's still just about a week from where you're at now. And everything changes. It's eek, a bug, and panicky, and this is going to go on for a month. And makes me worry a little bit about how this sets up in our country's chart. Well, we're in luck. Neither of those two eclipses hits the U.S. government chart. So let's take a look at this day by day. Friday the 13th, huh? What's that? Ooh, gee, there it is. That's the new moon, the eclipse opposing Pluto. That's a heavy-duty eclipse. It's going to show up in the world in lots of places. Maybe I'll get to that later. Let's find out what's going on day by day, okay? I'm going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern, and it makes angles to the various bodies. It generates the mood of the time, we call it. It's the generic charts for everybody. Here's a Thursday show back here. Early Thursday morning, you were stuck. You were depressed. The moon squared Saturn, eek. And then you got going in the afternoon. Here's a nice trine to Mercury. Everybody running around Thursday afternoon and evening. Felt good. And then here's a square, 10, 11 o'clock. The moon squared the sun and you lost your ambition. Friday, okay, July 6th. What goes on? Well, here before lunch, here's a nice sextile to Pluto. Now here's a chance to get a handle on these kinds of problems before you get to that eclipse on Thursday. So anything you want to fix in the way of Pluto, this could be everything from excrement to bugs to emergency stuff to security, safety, all that stuff. You worried about ashes from the volcano? Well, it's always good to have one of those masks around just to pick up the big stuff. But don't worry about SO2 or VOG. They're not going to hurt you. This is Pluto. You know, you're going to realize some of that stuff on Friday. As you go into Friday evening, the moon in Aries makes a nice trine to Venus. Something lovely going on here. Something sexy and loving. Friday night, you know, at 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And then the moon hits Uranus. Woo, brotherhood, Aquarian spirit, common sense. Might take you out of that mood you were in, that Venus mood, with kind of a jolt. But it's a good one because whatever information you start picking up here, there's the trine to Saturn later. That's just before lunch, around the middle of the day, Saturday the 7th, and you organize it. Yeah, so first comes some pleasure, then electric stuff from the internet and information in an Aquarian way, and then a practical application of it Saturday. Saturday's going to be a good day because here's the Uranus thing. That's, let's see, 2 a.m., 4, 6, that's breakfast. The moon goes by Uranus. Everybody has common sense consciousness. Hooray! Well, Saturday, you go towards the afternoon. Uh-oh, here's a square to Mars. And Mars ain't happy. He just stationed. He's still pretty raging. 8 Aquarius. So people's tempers are running awful thin here on Saturday. And then they overdo it. This could be a heat wave that you're having July 7th. This could be fires, like fireworks from the 4th of July. At any rate, too much heat, too much aggression, too much anger. Saturday night. It's a nice morning. Don't expect it to go into the evening Saturday. Sunday looks like a religious, spiritual time. Yes. Here's a nice sextile to Neptune. And the sun is there. And so this is a good time for you to do some religious, artistic experience. It's Sunday. It's the sun's day. It's for the Father. Yes. Ancient civilizations were right, you know. You just brand everything a pagan and human sacrifice and crap like that as propaganda. Yeah. You go back and read and do some research. Ancient those guys were bright, smart. They had a handle on things, perhaps more than we do. So, Sunday, study some ancient stuff. It'll last well into Monday morning. The moon's still in Taurus here. And then after breakfast, it shifts into Gemini, and it becomes more active, more energetic. Here's a nice trine to Mars. Get out there and do something physical. Be a hero, be a protector Monday. That's what it's about. On Tuesday, the 10th, here's the Neptune square. Bad smells, problems with liquids. You know, this is confusion and delusion Tuesday between breakfast and lunch. Don't trust anything liquid. Don't trust anybody on Tuesday. Everybody's a little delirious. On Wednesday, just before lunch, the moon shifts into Cancer, and it changes in a nice, really nice way. Because here's a sextile to Venus. There's some love around. And then a sextile to Uranus. There's some brotherhood, intellectualism. It's very nice Wednesday morning. You go to Wednesday afternoon, however, and the moon hits 5 degrees and opposes Saturn. Ugh, there's no money, there's no time, bad judgments. Here we were free to have fun, and suddenly we got no money, no time. You know, don't step over that line. Uh-oh. Moon in early Cancer. Thursday comes up a lot better. Here you're going towards that new moon, and you get to, first of all, Thursday morning is the trine to Jupiter, wisdom, lightning bolts of truth, and then the trine to Neptune here, just after breakfast. That's color, art, sensitivity, spirituality. Very nice. Of course, finally, we're going to take that opposition to Pluto. It's Thursday afternoon on this new moon. It's going to be a panicky month. But people, see, this is an eclipse, and so Pluto, if you go against Pluto, if you threaten the policeman, he's probably just going to whip out his military gun and kill everybody. So this is no time to mess with Pluto. Don't play with the sharks. I mean, Pluto he's not just Sherlock Holmes. He's the guy with the gun. You know, he's the terrorist. He's the bomber. He's all these things that they panic, and there's going to be a lot of that because this is an eclipse of the sun, and somebody's going to go and knock off the father figures, the bosses, yeah. So this is tough on father figures, and the assassins are out to get you, and you'll be feeling that for a whole month after this eclipse, at least a month. On Friday, the moon's in Cancer at first, and then it shifts into Leo. Here's a square to Uranus. There's glitches on Friday, in the middle of the day, battery problems, electrical problems. Everybody's trying to take care of people here. There's Mars. Mars is on the node. There's a lot of nurturing from the military, I guess. I don't know. Saturday, the moon's in Leo, and it's going by Mercury here, squaring Jupiter. It's kind of like talking too much and laughing too much here in the middle of Saturday. As you go through Saturday night, you're still feeling like laughing a lot, but here's a nice trine to Uranus. Technical expertise comes in Sunday. The genius is out. And what's more, there's a nice trine to Saturn, and so you can organize that higher knowledge. You can apply it. Shouldn't we have a union here? Something to combat these Saturn characters? Sure. The moon goes by Venus Sunday night after dinner. It's very nice. You had brotherhood in the morning, got organized with the budget in the middle of the day, and had some pleasure Sunday afternoon and evening with Venus. Not bad.